listen to us online at WBZT.com. It's free. Stream from your home computer, at work, or in the car.
The following views are those of the host and not those of Clear Channel Broadcasting licenses. Welcome to the Know Nothing Show with Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman, who've been in the legal profession for over 30 years and now want to share their experience and knowledge with you. Hey, maybe they do know a little something. You can join Alan and Rich by calling in toll-free, 1-800-889-0267, or watch them on elkinsandfriedman.com on Friday nights. Now your hosts for the next hour, Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman.
Hey now, everybody, and how are you? Let me adjust this so I can see my face. There, I see my face, and I see Richard's face. Richard, you're here on time.
Yeah, luckily there wasn't much traffic today.
That is lucky.
Yeah.
And the lovely Nicole is not with us tonight.
Right.
Hey, Richard, Freddie, well, let me do our introductions as always. We have Freddie, our producer. Hey, Freddie, why don't you stick your fingers in there like you normally do? Well, I don't, oh, there are his fingers. There he is. And then we have his lovely assistant, Linda. How are you, Linda? Hey. And then we have, of course, my favorite, Linda. Well, she's not my favorite, but she actually is. But, hey, Linda Bordop, how are you?
How are you guys?
We missed you last week, Lynn.
I know, I missed you too. I do not think Rich microphone is plugged in properly.
I don't think so either. I could barely hear Mr. Friedman.
Yeah, it's.
Let's just see. Yeah, we'll get Freddie also doubles as our sound engineer. Let me move forward. Let me turn it up a little. Rich, tap that mic.
What? Hello?
Yeah,
Anybody
it's
there?
working.
No, here, I'm going to plug Rich in
Not
over
too
here.
loud now. No, it's his mic, not his headphone.
Oh, it's his mic?
Yeah, it's microphone.
Oh, wonderful. All right, so listen, what are you going to do?
Can you hear me now?
I always said the guy doesn't have a
Is it
heck of
good?
a lot to say. It's working? Not working?
Talks again. I can't hear you.
Talk
Hello?
into it, Rich.
Yeah.
Testing,
Doesn't pick up-
hi.
Okay, you're good.
Good,
now.
good.
Richard's
All right.
good?
All right, I'm good.
And as I say, so we have Linda Bordop, and Nicole will be back next week, Richard.
Yes,
She'll be
good,
back. She sends
good.
her regards from the Garden State. I talked to her about an hour ago, and if we're lucky, Nicole's mom will call in tonight.
Oh, boy.
Nicole's mom, if you're listening, call in. And we have two special guests tonight. We have the lovely Maria. Now, Maria, I cannot pronounce your name. I thought about trying to
Maria,
say
you
it.
can't pronounce Maria?
No, Richard, I understand Maria. It's
Okay.
P-U-M-A-R-E-G-O. A-E-J-O. You try saying it, Richard.
Yeah.
Okay, P-U-M-A-R-E-J-O.
I can't.
Pumargero?
Pumareo.
Pumareo. See, silly me.
Pumareo.
So we have the lovely Maria here, and we'll introduce her in momentarily, and she'll tell us why she's here. And then we have the equally lovely Madison. Now, Madison, I didn't even think. I was rude. I didn't even ask your name.
My last name?
Yes. No, your middle name, Madison.
Manarino.
Manarino.
But two tough names.
There's nobody like
You
a
couldn't-
Smith. You couldn't have been
Well, yeah,
Smith or Jones.
you couldn't book a Smith or a Jones tonight?
No, I couldn't. Here's what happens. Here's how I met. It's kind of a humorous story, and it's not that funny, but I'm going to tell it anyway.
Yeah.
You know how, Richard, we have an office in the Gardens, one of our many offices.
Yes.
In the Gardens.
Well, Palm Beach Gardens, not in,
Palm Beach
not in a
Gardens.
garden.
It is in a garden. It's a lovely garden. And before I digress, I will be yelled at if I don't say you can watch and listen to us on www. The Know Nothing Show. Okay, you can see us streaming live, as well as on the wonderful station WBZT, 12:30 a.m. in the Palm Beaches. We'd love your participation. And I'm Freddie, now I'm looking at the monitor cutting on and off. It's on right now, so I'm happy. Palm Beach line, anybody that wants to call. If Maria or Madison has a friend out there listening, feel free to call and spill some secrets on their sex lives. It's the number in the Palm Beaches is 561-844-6167 or 1-800-889-0267.
Boy, the boards are lighting up.
Are they lighting up?
Good sex
Lighting
stories. And then, and I also should say, Richard and I
What?
spoke to my cousin. I doubt he's listening. He just pretends feigns interest, but we spoke to him this afternoon in California.
Cousin Rob, our West Coast
Cousin
correspondent.
Rob, our West Coast correspondent. if he has the guts, if he's actually listening, not just giving me a song and a dance, he could be hearing us
He
right
could.
now.
Maybe he'll surprise us.
I hope he calls in at 1-800-889-0267.
Because he always has something funny to tell.
He does have, he's an interesting guy. So
He is.
1-800-889-0267. So, let's talk about Maria Madison. So I started to say, Richard, we
Yes.
have an office in the Gardens.
Yes.
Without much notice, they could not negotiate. This is a competitor of Maria and Madison who work for, I don't want to screw it up, Intelligent Office?
Yes.
Okay, so tell everybody what Intelligent Office is. What makes you guys so intelligent?
Well, come on now.
Look
First-
at us.
Look at us. First of all.
Actually, that wouldn't have been my first guess from that, but go ahead. Tell us about Intelligent Office.
Intelligent Office is the leader in virtual office space. We do office services such as answering your phones. We're an extension of your staff, so our clients could be on vacation halfway across the world, but their clients would never know because we're answering the phones as if we're in their office with them. And we're taking their mail. We're going to host their conferences when they have clients come in. You name it, we do it. We're just trained as far as whatever our client wants.
And you're the manager, or no, you're
I'm the business development manager.
the business development manager. Okay, and I'll talk about it because it's Maria that I met when I was looking around, and then Madison, you're working the front desk there.
Yeah, I'm the receptionist there.
Okay, and actually there were a couple people up front I saw, right?
Yep, there's 5 of us.
How many? I know for whatever reason I never understood this, but they don't call the people that lease space their tenants. They're called something else like. You know, I bet if I look at the lease, I'm not a tenant, right?
You're our client.
Yeah.
A client. And you know why they do that, Richard?
Why is that, Alan?
So there's no landlord and tenant law. If they want to get rid of you, it enables them to get rid of you
Well,
easier.
it's kind of like a hotel room.
Right.
Yeah, I guess
exactly.
They just change the combo and the lock. That's it.
Now, fortunately, you and I have never been thrown out of establishments. So what happened, this other place, and listen, there's no harm. We were in a place that was taken over by Regent, and I must say that the old owners were very accommodating, very nice. I liked them. Regis bought them out, and I think it was less than a year. We just get a text, and I think I showed that to you, Maria, a text that says, hey, we couldn't renegotiate a new lease, so all you tenants have to be out by like mid-April. So really what it was, had to be out there by mid-April. So the problem is, as far as I know, there are 3 offices that we could look at without operating or signing our own lease in an office. And I must say, so when I went in to check all of them out, far and away, Maria was the most animated and the nicest, because she really was. And she complimented me on my colorful socks.
But is she going to be after you sign up and move in? Is she going to be just as nice?
Probably not. But the
I think
truth,
I'll be nicer.
you think you'd be nicer?
Absolutely.
And Maria, I must say, let me see, Freddie, turn that camera back on me.
Oh boy, what do we have on
Freddie.
today?
Freddie, wake up, Freddie. Freddie, the producer. Okay, it's there. Here are my socks.
No, you gotta.
Those are pretty tame. I like the
They are
Dr.
pretty
Seuss,
tame.
the Dr. Seuss
Yeah,
socks.
you have
from
to
the
move
other
the
day.
camera a little bit. There you go. That's
I don't
very.
know. They're there somewhere.
Listen, I wouldn't be showing your legs on the
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. Anyway, so now we're at the crossroads, Richard.
Yep.
Of course, being the pushy sales type that she's trained to be, she actually bought a package with her, and with the hope
Yeah, the hope.
that we're going to go ahead and sign tonight and commit to 12 months. But she told me.
But I thought she doesn't have any space for us.
She does, but explain what we're interested in, Maria, and what anybody else out there might be interested in.
Well, what you're looking for is to come to the office 4 or 5 hours a week.
Right.
And you're going to meet with clients, or you're going to get work done, sign documents, whatever it is. And what
Hopefully take money.
Yep, you're going
That's
to
what we
take
try to
people's
do.
money. Gotcha. Well, we're going to try to help you do that.
Thank you.
The happier that you are, the happier that we are.
That's right. So what we can do, we can either rent a dedicated office. They did show me one that was a lovely view. And, you know, if that were overlooking the lake, I might really be tempted. Okay?
Yeah.
But, you know, a little more than we
Careful
want
what you ask for. I'll shift some offices around if you want a lake view.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
become a sponsor of the show, and we'll
Remember
do
now,
that.
this is a satellite office. It's not our main location.
It's
Right.
not. And by the way, anybody looking for expert legal services, we're Elkins and Friedman, a full-service law firm, and we'll be glad to help you. In fact, we always say we talk about nonsense, but we're perfectly able to answer all of your complex legal questions.
That's correct.
Do you think
And
they believe that, Rich? Of
of course.
All right. So, We're at 7:16. We've done the introductions. Why don't we go to our first break, and then we'll come back, and we're going to have some fun, Richard.
I can't
Stories-
wait. I hope you have some good stories tonight.
Well, unfortunately, no penis stories, Richard, but I
Good.
have some stories.
Excellent. Okay.
So we'll be back in just
All right.
a minute.
Everyone stay where they are. Alan and Rich will be right back.
Life is so overwhelming right now, isn't it? Emotional and financial challenges too much? More debt than you can possibly handle? Are you facing divorce or another family law problem? Injured and don't know where to turn? There is a source of solid, affordable legal guidance. At Elkins and Friedman, an experienced lawyer will explain options and treat you with respect and dignity. They help people throughout Central and South Florida solve those problems. This is a law firm you can trust, where they actually pick up the phone when you call. They have a 30-year record of positive results, and they make legal costs manageable for people from all walks of life. Make the call, 954-372-2630. When you visit, you might even meet Tiffany, the office mascot. Elkins and Friedman take the intimidation and the worry out of getting the legal help you really need. Call 954-372-2630 and begin to make sense of your life. Offices in Fort Lauderdale, Boynton Beach, and Palm Beach Gardens. Non-lawyer spokesperson. Please welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet network that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet television production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes and live streaming, as well as tape productions. Let AMP2 TV handle all of your television production needs. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP2.tv. Or call them at 1-866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422. This is the Know Nothing Show with practicing attorneys Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman. Elkins and Friedman have been helping folks throughout Florida for more than 30 years, and they're here now to share their knowledge and experiences with you. Stand by for more information and fun.
And we're back, everybody.
Yes, we are.
You know, just so we were going to break, I just remembered Maria was actually going to bring two other girls with her, another individual besides Madison. So
What happened?
What happened?
She got nervous.
She got nervous?
Chicken always happens. What's her name?
Her name's Lauren.
Lauren? Lauren, because of you, I'm not going to sign a lease or something like a lease. It's your fault, Lauren. I want you to feel really crappy about it. You think, is there any chance she's listening?
Doubtful.
She's
She's on a date.
A date.
Date.
Well, people who listen to radio
Well,
shows on dates.
You know what? Is she really on a date?
Mm-hmm.
I think at the next break, what we're going to do, we're going to call her up. We're going to call her on air, and I'm going to ask her how her date's going, why it was more important that she be on the stinking date than show up on the Know Nothing Show.
That's right. What's more important than Know Nothing?
So you get that number out, and you're going to write it down for him, and we're going to call her. In the meantime, is
Yes.
anybody doing anything interesting over the weekend? You, Richard?
Let's see now. I did my laundry last weekend. So this weekend...
You got enough underwear to last you?
Yeah, I wear it twice.
You
Yeah.
can always turn them inside out like I
Exactly.
usually do.
Exactly.
When the wife's out of town. All right, well, I'm glad.
Well, I'm working tomorrow.
Are you working?
Yeah, I got a bunch of appointments, so
Well, that's
be helping
good.
some clients tomorrow, and then I'll relax and take it easy.
All right, now let me ask, Lynn the board op, do you have any plans this weekend?
I will be here all day tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Do you have a sound effect that
5
goes,
o'clock in
wow?
the morning. I should.
Let's try our guest. Maria, you got any plans this weekend?
Tomorrow's busy. I'm having some girlfriends over that have little ones that can only come over in the morning because their little ones nap in the afternoon.
Well, if they have little ones, you have little one too?
No.
So why on earth would you invite girlfriends over with little kids? They're going to drive you crazy.
Because we're going to go to the pool. They're not going to step foot in my house. I don't have to clean up after them. And then once they're tired, their moms will put them in the car and take them home.
And then what do
It's
you
good.
girls? Is it like wine time? Wine and...
Well, I mean, it's going to be mimosas. We're getting together from 10 to 1.
Oh, that actually sounds like fun. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
And what about you, Madison?
I'll probably go to the beach with my cousin or
Very
wherever.
nice. Now, let me think. What am I doing?
You're
What are you
heading to
doing?
Ultra. That's what you're doing.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
but you know what? I did actually go there one year. Or at least I walked by during a Heat game. And actually, there's some stories about that we could talk about. I won't do it yet, but my weekend plans are pretty straightforward. Let me see. I watch Shark Tank tonight, 9 o'clock, and then I'll probably watch the NCAA basketball tournament. Which Freddie, I'm shocked as a huge sports fan that you don't do that. You don't watch the NCAA, do you?
I know Linda.
Well, Kentucky, huh?
He knows
I know
Linda.
Norlinda?
I know Linda. That's why I don't watch basketball anymore.
Oh, I'm
She
sorry.
fills
She
up
turned
his
you on.
time.
But I did learn Marie is kind of a sports jock. You like sports.
I love sports.
But you won't watch it. You don't watch any of the basketball tournament?
Last night it was too late for me to watch the Gators, but I knew they had it in the bag. I have the Gators winning the whole thing.
I stayed up for most of the game, and I went to the University of Florida. So
Nice.
So I've got a little dog in the show. The show. Jeez, what do I sound? I can't say retarded. I sound mentally challenged.
You have a
I'm
dog
sorry
in
to
the
all
show?
our mentally challenged listeners that are out there.
You have a dog in the show. It's good.
No, I don't know. I have something in the something, whatever that expression is. But the big game that I'm looking forward to, actually tonight, believe it or not, is
What's that?
Kentucky and Louisville. Louisville.
Louisville.
And the only thing I'm going to say quickly before we get to all these stories that I have is we repeated our show last week, but I was out in Kentucky.
Right.
I was in Lexington, which is
Now,
the
I
home
heard
of the
you s-
University of Kentucky.
But let
You
me
gave
interrupt
me a
you for a
call after
second.
that.
I know
I
you
did.
stayed in a very high-class luxury hotel. Why don't you tell me
please.
about it?
I hadn't planned on this, but what happens?
That's how he's spending your money.
Yeah.
No, he's joking because I'm pretty
Joe, I'm
lucky.
being.
I'm pretty like I get off the plane and I usually don't make a reservation in advance
Right.
because I have a lot of sites that I can go on. I can usually get something pretty easily, and I knew that there wasn't the NCAA tournament. The regionals weren't in that Rupp Arena, which is in a great mecca for basketball. So I figured out how hard would it be. But what I didn't know that Kentucky. They're so crazy about it, or basketball, that they actually have a Sweet 16 for high school, and they get like 100,000 people in town for that. So when I'm on the plane, I try to stay downtown because it's there for business deposition, and I couldn't book it. The only thing I could book that was reasonably
Oh, boy, here we
close
go.
was in the opposite direction. Okay, so I have the cab driver. I flag down a cab. I make the reservation on Orbitz, and it's cheap enough. I'm not complaining about the price. I get in the cab, and I say, can you take me to whatever this place was? And he says, are you sure you want to stay there?
I mean, he was afraid to go to the neighborhood.
This is a cab driver. Are you sure you want to stay there?
That has to give you a warm, fuzzy feeling,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
So I said, is it that bad? He says, no, but you couldn't get anything else. I said, listen, I looked on my phone, and I called a couple places that were sold out because of the basketball tournament.
Yeah.
He goes, well, there's another area where there's this, and this. I said, God forbid that they would have showed me that on the phone areas.
Yeah.
So he pulls up to this place. I kid you not. Right in front of the hotel is the Roto-Rooter man. You know what that is? That's telling me that their septic tanks
Yeah.
or whatever aren't working. So I go in there. I think the pool, of course, is drained. There's like mold growing in the pool, and I think I'm the only guest. I swear to God, I was
Didn't
the.
they flush the toilet on that story?
Thanks, Fred. Lynn, do you have a sound effect? Toilet flushing? Wow, you do. Look at
She's
that.
good with that.
So anyway, so I talked to the guy. Now, the guy, he was a nice guy. He probably should have been working at the 7-Eleven, if you know what I mean. All right? So I said, do you have a room? Do you have a room for me?
Didn't he ask you if you wanted it by the hour?
And I said, preferably a room that has a working toilet. So he said, I think I can do that. All right, you think you can do that? So he finds me a room. Now, the only place to eat next to this hotel is a gas station combo restaurant. Gas station combo
That's the best
restaurant.
combo.
And he says, if you're going to get something to eat, I got there about 4 or 5 o'clock. He says, I think they're closing at 5 o'clock. So if you're
5
going to get
o'clock.
anything to eat, you better do it now. So the truth is that I went in there, again, only guy in there, and I'm
Yeah.
looking at the menu, and I
Yeah.
said, make me a cheeseburger. Guy made me a cheeseburger, and I
How
have
was
to
it?
admit, the cheeseburger was good.
It was good.
Didn't need the toilet.
No,
Okay?
that's
So
good.
I'm glad it was working, but didn't need it, fortunately. So anyway, the next day I went into town, got a cab there, went into Lexington, which is a really pretty cool town. And the other funny story, last thing I'm going to leave you, the cab driver that's driving me in has his phone being charged, and he has a phone charger for Louisville University, who's playing Kentucky tonight. Well, they're bitter rivals.
Yep.
They're about 70, 80 miles apart. So he said that I can't show this to people because if they see Louisville and they're there at the University of Kentucky, he says they get mad and they don't tip me.
Really?
Yeah, true story. Anyway,
Did he know that you don't tip anybody anyway?
No, Richard, that's you.
Oh, yeah.
But he was a nice guy. Took care of the guy. It was a worthwhile trip.
Yeah.
And then the last bitter end, the last story I should have shown you, because you're not going to the biggest of airports, you have the little jets, usually 2 seats on each side. No exaggeration. My luck, I get in there. The guy next to me got to be a good 350. I'm not exaggerating. He's so friggin' fat that he can't put the armrest down. Can't put the armrest down.
But look at it this way. You can use his tummy as a pillow.
Richard, his tummy. Now, so his thigh is sticking over on my side of the seat. But what are you going to do? I know he's fat. He knows he's fat. They had to come up, give him the seatbelt extender, of course. So I'm figuring.
But let me ask you, there was no other available seats on the plane?
No seats.
All
No.
filled.
There's because of the basketball tournament coming and going. So the fortune, I'm thinking to Atlanta is where we were flying to for my connection. I figure it's about an hour and 20 minutes. So the last thing that I dread next to this huge guy, God forbid, he goes an hour and 12 minutes without bringing out the bag of food. Okay, so he opens up that smelly bag of food. You ever do that?
I don't do that.
Starts chowing down in the middle. So I got to smell his noxious fumes and then have this fat slob encroaching on my space. So that, Richard, was my story.
What a story.
What a great
story.
trip.
I took so long telling you. Let's do it. Let's do a story before our next break.
Okay.
Now, Richard, I read this morning, and Freddie, put it up on the screen if you got it. There's a guy in Delray Beach, which for anybody watching us on the web doesn't know, is in the south part of Palm Beach County.
Right next to Boca Raton.
Right next to Boca Raton. So I have a story I'm reading this morning about a guy named Erwin Goldberg, who's 78 years old. So I'm just going to read
So
this.
what's new with him?
Here's what's new. He was out looking for sex, okay? It says a Delray Beach man with a stab wound went from being a victim in the hospital to a suspect in a jail cell. Whoa, my Okay, in a jail cell. Whoops, let me just adjust the mic.
What happened to you?
Okay, so he says, so here's what happens. Erwin was in the hospital because he was stabbed. He tells the cops he had a stab wound. And it's just, and you know where the police station is in Delray Beach near the courthouse on Atlantic?
Yeah, of course.
So what happened, he walked into the police station with a stab wound. It says about 6 a.m. So Erwin Goldberg was up to no good, right? 6 a.m. in the morning, and he's on the screen. Anybody wants to see him.
Okay.
He told police a woman stabbed him and then drove off in his 2013 Ford Edge. And it says a trail of blood, however, led officers to what appeared to be the crime scene. At the crime scene, they found a 28-year-old woman standing nearby. She had a different story. She told police that Mr. Goldberg asked if she needed a ride, and when she got in, he started groping on her and asking for sexual favors. Sexual favors. So she says when she tried to run, Goldberg had a bat next to him. Picks a bat. He reaches for a baseball bat and starts hitting her with the bat. Mr. Goldberg also had a knife on the floor. So she grabbed the knife on the floor and stabbed him in the chest. Stabbed him in the chest.
But I don't get it. If she was running down the street, how'd she have a knife on her?
Okay. Well, here's the story. I guess that she got into the car, okay, I guess for a ride. Mr. Goldberg comes on. You know, he starts trying to grope a feel.
Right.
He picks up a bat when she tried to refrain. That's what it says.
Okay.
He started trying to hit her with the bat. She sees a knife on the floor and stabs him.
It was his knife on the floor.
His knife on the floor. It says detective said there wasn't any blood in the driver's seat where he claimed he was, but found it in the passenger seat doorway where the woman said that she stabbed him. Police issued a warrant for Mr. Goldberg. So look at this old geezer. He's up to no good. I don't know what time in the morning. You know, I don't.
What's he doing up so late?
I don't know. So early, maybe. I don't know. He's looking for sex. So I read the story and it made me laugh. Does that make you laugh?
It kind of grosses me out.
It does gross you out on so many levels. Now, I'm not saying Irwin shouldn't get a little if he can get it, but what's the matter with the blue hairs in the condo?
Right, exactly.
Right?
I mean,
So I
there's
don't know.
plenty of nice women there that he could find.
I'm sure, but Irwin wanted a nice 20-year-old woman.
Hey, what happened to your seat? You just
I don't know. Here, Fred.
But 78, does it even still happen at 78? I
well,
mean,
we
I
have
try
a
to tell
story.
myself
Linda.
it doesn't happen for my parents, and they're like about to hit 60.
Listen,
They're
what,
about
you
to
don't think
hit
your parents are doing it at 60?
I sure hope not.
Oh, stop it. Richard's
Alan is-
62.
Alan's 60 in a couple weeks.
So
Yeah, it's the truth.
I don't want to think about it.
I know.
It's like looking at my dad.
They're 84?
my parents are 83 and 82.
Are they still
And you
doing
know what he
it?
wanted for his birthday?
What?
Edible underwear.
Edible
You wanted
underwear.
edible underwear for the
My
missus?
mother, yeah.
Really?
No,
And we
wait.
bought it, and she lost it at the airport.
That's good. Hey, Linda, you had a story about what were you telling me before we went on the air about?
I told you about a friend.
Here, give her slide over the mic, Richard.
Yes. Come close. I won't bite.
That's what you told Nicole, and she never sat next to you.
Yes, I had a friend who dated an elderly gentleman, and he was, he didn't take a pill. He used a penile pump.
A penile pump?
Yeah, you pump it up.
Flagpole.
A
Flagpole.
flagpole.
All right, thanks, right. Actually, I had a guy, nice-looking
You
guy.
said you
full-
promised you weren't going to talk about that
Well,
today.
you're right. Well, we did. We got the penis pump in there. We got to mention it.
He did and I did.
But the
Yes.
truth is, we
What?
had a client who's an older guy, lived in a condo, full head of hair, nice-looking guy. He says he could have as many ladies as he wanted because most of the men die off, and you've got plenty of women in the condo. So
Right.
I don't know. It just seems to me that Mr. Goldberg, shame on you. So that's the first.
Oh,
story.
boy.
Lynn, should we take a quick break? Take a quick break. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Then I promise we have stories to talk
All right,
about.
stay tuned. Rich and Alan and the rest of
You
us will.
said that flawlessly, Rick.
Didn't I? I know. We'll be back.
Please welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet network that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet television production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes and live streaming, as well as tape productions. Let AMP2 TV handle all of your television production needs. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP2.tv. Or call them at 1-866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422. Life is so overwhelming right now, isn't it? Emotional and financial challenges too much? More debt than you can possibly handle? Are you facing divorce or another family law problem? Injured and don't know where to turn? There is a source of solid, affordable legal guidance. At Elkins & Friedman, an experienced lawyer will explain options and treat you with respect and dignity. They help people throughout Central and South Florida solve those problems. This is a law firm you can trust, where they actually pick up the phone when you call. They have a 30-year record of positive results, and they make legal costs manageable for people from all walks of life. Make the call, 954-372-2630. When you visit, you might even meet Tiffany, the office mascot. Elkins & Friedman take the intimidation and the worry out of getting the legal help you really need. Call 954-372-2630 and begin to make sense of your life. Offices in Fort Lauderdale, Boynton Beach, and Palm Beach Gardens. Non-lawyer spokesperson. This is the Elkins & Friedman Know Nothing Show. Time to get back to Alan and Rich for more. If you'd like to join in, just call in 1-800-889-0267 and become part of the show. That's 1-800-889-0267. Once again, Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman.
All right, we're back, everybody. Now,
Yes, we are.
Richard, here are your
Yes.
choices of next stories.
Okay, good.
One story I have, bride of 8 days pushes husband off cliff.
Okay.
Sounds exciting.
Yes?
Second choice, teachers having sex with one another in class cannot be fired.
Okay.
Third choice, Chinese guy spends $2 million to buy a puppy. Remember we talked about
The
that, Maria?
Tibetan Mastiff.
Okay. Guy discovers a rare Fabergé egg. He bought what just looked like a trinket he was going to melt down for gold worth millions.
Right.
Another one, this is a tough choice too. Chicken
Yes.
from hell dinosaur has been discovered. Chicken that
Chicken?
A chicken dinosaur.
A chicken.
So out of those, let me just titillate you with those stories.
Yeah.
What do you want? Which one do you want to hear?
That first one.
The first one, you want to hear about the Bride of 8 Days.
Yes.
All right. Now, Freddie, I think, I don't know if we have a picture of this or not. Jordan Graham. There we go.
Okay,
Anybody
nice couple.
looking at our site, we have a lovely bride and groom.
Yes.
Jordan Graham is her name. And unfortunately, she pushed her husband of 8 days to his death. And here's the story, Richard. A Montana woman has been sentenced to more than 30 years in prison for killing her husband of 8 days by pushing him from a cliff in the Glacier National Park after they argued over her regrets about marrying him.
This is
Now-
still going to be a Lifetime movie. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, it probably will be.
So, what was he by the cliff? And she said, step back.
Yeah, a little
couple
further
feet?
back
Okay,
for the picture.
perfect,
You're not
perfect.
quite in it yet.
Yeah.
No, I think she actually pushed him. Here's what I have. I will read the story. It says prosecutor said Graham lured Johnson to a steep cliff in Glacier National Park. This actually happened back in July.
Yeah.
Pushed him over and then lied repeatedly to investigators in an attempt to cover up the crime. In fact, the story from reading it, initially, she claimed she wasn't even there. So you knew she was lying right off the bat when later on she admitted she was there.
Right.
But she tried to say, oh, my husband left to go with some of his buddies, out hiking, which was just ridiculous. She ended up pleading guilty to second-degree murder just before closing argument. She could have actually been sentenced to 50 years. So
How many years did she get?
got a break, 30 years.
30 years.
And it says...
Why didn't you just get divorced?
Well, no kidding.
We
I
would have
guess
handled
they-
the divorce like
Can
that
you
in
get
no
an
time.
annulment if it's only 8 days?
You can, but maybe she don't want to give back the gifts. Who knew? It says here she
But she's
decided
not going to get him now.
No, decided to confront her husband about her marriage doubts and didn't know how he would take it. She told him that she was unhappy. They argued, and at one point she claims, of course, he's dead. He can't deny it. She says he grabbed her by the arm, and she thought he was going to pull her. She told the judge she got angry, brushed his hand away, then pushed him with one hand on his arm and one on his back. So let me ask you, if you're pushing the guy from the back, it means the guy's not facing you.
Right.
He's probably over Lookout, hill or whatever, and she gave him a little push right down the ravine.
God, you know
So-
what the lesson to be? She should have gone. They should have gone to a honeymoon like in Florida, where it's just flat.
Flat.
Yeah,
Yep.
flat. That's
You know?
a good point, Richard. And then what ended up happening, she left. She initially told investigators that he had left her home on July 7th with unknown friends and then fabricated a story to support that. It says she produced a fabricated email purportedly from a friend of his that said he was dead and to call off the search. So this woman has to be a moron, right? She's a moron.
God.
So then she goes, no, she admitted doing it, but didn't even hang around to see if the guy was dead.
It's terrible.
Just hightail
Terrible,
it.
terrible.
Ladies, you'd never do anything so disgusting, would you?
Never.
Depends what they did to us.
Now, Marie, you told me.
But then we'd
Well, that's a
hire
good
you
point.
guys. We wouldn't go to jail for 30 years.
Yeah. That's actually smart. Now, as long as you told me during the break that you're engaged and
I'm not engaged.
you're not engaged?
Not yet. But my boyfriend is listening. He's in the car. He said it's not working online.
Hi,
so.
Ryan.
It's not
Hi,
working.
Not
Ryan.
working
Hi,
online.
guys.
Let me
No.
ask our
Great.
Crackerjack staff. Freddie, can you assure us that it is working online? www.theknownothingshow.com.
I cannot assure you that.
You can't assure me that.
Wow.
Well, Richard, Linda, you're getting out your phone. Linda's checking on her phone.
Yeah, it says content is unavailable.
We have it.
That'd be very distressing. I hope that's not right.
It'll be back.
I'll look at it in the last break.
Has it been on for a while? A little bit.
It's coming in and out.
It's going in and out.
Geez, only 40 minutes into the show.
So no, not engaged yet, but we're hoping so soon. He needs to ask my dad first. My dad's really scary. He's kind
Your
of
father.
like,
He has to get your father's permission.
absolutely.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It's kind of old school.
My dad's pretty old school. He gives me a look in the wrong direction. I go running for my room, and I'm 26 years old.
Well, how long you been going out with this guy?
About a year.
About a year, all right. Nice guy.
They're so cute.
He's
Is he
yeah.
listening on the radio
He
now?
is. Yeah, he's amazing, and he's really cute.
Well, that's nice. You hear that? Dude, what's your name? Shout out.
His name's Ryan.
Ryan.
Yep.
Now, Ryan, why don't you think about calling the show on your cell phone and tell us the most interesting place you've made whoopee with Maria?
Yeah, I'm sure her father would want to hear
Yeah, her
that.
father, coincidentally, is also listening. All right, anyway.
No, don't embarrass her.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah,
too
not
late for
too.
that, Rick. Madison, what about you? Did you say you have kids at home?
I'm 18.
Oh, she's 18.
Well, it doesn't stop. You could be on, what's one of those mama shows, Teenage
Oh,
Brides.
Teen Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well,
no.
All right.
she's got a few years to go.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not having kids till I'm 30.
And you're
Okay.
married.
Put that-
And you're married.
I have
And
to be
you're-
married first.
You're
That's a good
married.
idea.
So, Richard, that is our second story. Should we talk quickly about the teachers having sex?
No.
Yeah, Richard, why are you such a shy boy? This takes place in Freddie's hometown of Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
James Madison High School. Huh?
He's never had sex.
Yeah, well, it's true. Brooklyn's James Madison High School.
Madison?
Well, here's my favorite part. Two foreign language teachers. Okay, two foreign language teachers. So it makes
Maybe
it
they were
hot
different.
right there.
Same language or different
I'm thinking, I
languages?
hope they're French or Italian. So they're both females. We have Alini Brito and Cindy Morrow. These teachers decided to get it on and got caught at school. Now, the only thing going in their favor
What's
is
that?
that they were at an after-schools hour event, a musical competition. Apparently, they were bored, so they ended up going into to one of the rooms there. They started undressing each other, and they were caught making out and other things by the school safety agents.
But I'll bet you one thing. They got probably a strong teachers union up there.
You
I
betcha.
bet they'll fight to make sure they don't get fired.
And Richard, and guess what? They were fired. However, in 2012, a judge ruled that they're entitled to an administrative hearing. They've now had that administrative hearing, and
what
they
happened?
said that the penalty was too harsh, that they shouldn't have been fired. And then the last thing I'll leave you before we go to our last break, the students at that school, it is now known as Horn Dog High.
Horn dog.
So I thought
my
that was
gosh.
That's a
fitting.
great name for a Brooklyn school.
My old high school we were supposedly the whores on the hill.
The horse on the hill?
Supposedly, but I'm not. I transferred there, so
It was an
doesn't
all-girls
count.
school.
It was an all
Where
girls
was this?
in New York.
In New York? Okay, that's
See,
interesting.
so it's
All right, and Freddie, you ever
Where in New York?
any escapades?
Westchester.
Westchester.
Oh, no, we're not going to talk New York now, are we, Freddie? No New York talk.
Why
No
not?
New
What
York.
about
Yeah.
New
Why not?
Jersey talk? Do we like New Jersey?
You're from New Jersey?
I'm from
She's
New
from New Jersey.
Wow. You know the governor?
I don't want to know the governor.
Oh, come on, I like Chris Christie.
I liked him before Bridgegate.
He,
he
was
was,
just
he was
found
found not
exonerated.
guilty.
Of course, he hired the council that
Please.
exonerated
Of course.
him. But I like that guy. I really do.
Whole cast of Sopranos helped get him out of that.
All right. Anyway, Lynn, why
Yes.
don't we go to our last break, and I'm going to search my phone to see if we're actually on the internet.
That's a good idea. Otherwise, we're talking to ourselves. All right, we'll be back. Don't go away.
Life is so overwhelming right now, isn't it? Emotional and financial challenges too much? More debt than you can possibly handle? Are you facing divorce or another family law problem? Injured and don't know where to turn? There is a source of solid, affordable legal guidance. At Elkins & Friedman, an experienced lawyer will explain options and treat you with respect and dignity. They help people throughout Central and South Florida solve those problems. This is a law firm you can trust, where they actually pick up the phone when you call. They have a 30-year record of positive results, and they make legal costs manageable for people from all walks of life. Make the call, 954-372-2630. When you visit, you might even meet Tiffany, the office mascot. Elkins & Friedman take the intimidation and the worry out of getting the legal help you really need. Call 954-372-2630 and begin to make sense of your life. Offices in Fort Lauderdale, Boynton Beach, and Palm Beach Gardens. Non-lawyer spokesperson. Please welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet network that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet television production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes and live streaming, as well as tape productions. Let AMP2 TV handle all of your television production needs. channels. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP2.tv. Or call them at 1-866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422. You're listening to the Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman Know Nothing Show, with two longtime attorneys who are here to share their experience and knowledge and some fun along the way. The toll-free number, if you want to participate, is 1-800-889-0267.
Okay.
We're back for our final segment.
Yes, we are.
And listen, here's the story. Apparently, the internet signal is very weak, so it's cutting in and out for anybody trying to look. However, the show's recording. Once the show's over, you can watch the show. So
It'll be available on YouTube right afterwards?
No, or it'll be available on our site.
On your site.
Yeah, on our site or on YouTube, we should mention. Yeah. All right,
Good.
Now, this I don't know if you'll find interesting. I'll get to this other stuff in a minute.
Yes.
But do you know there's a guy who lost $500,000 at a casino in Las Vegas? And
Right,
he
you want to try to get it back.
Well, he sued the casino because they said they let him play drunk. So when you think about it, you figure they're always pumping you with drinks. So the question is there any precedent? Is this guy a bad loser, or does he have any chance of actually recouping the money? What do you think?
I don't think he's going to recoup it. You know why? Because otherwise he'd have to give it back to everybody that gambles.
Exactly. I mean, I've done that myself. They keep giving you drinks, and then you get braver and you go to the ATM, and then $500-$600 later, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm not made of money. Why did I get so brave?
But you know what's interesting? There's really a precedent too. If the casino has pumped you with enough alcohol, there is some precedent to say that they should stop. And basically what this guy says, I'm not a sore loser. I've lost $500,000. I've lost $800,000. I've lost a lot of money. That has nothing to do with it. He says, I can afford to lose it. This is about the casino almost killing me. He said, basically, from the time they picked him up, this is a big player, that they pick him up at in the limo from the airport. They start pumping him with drinks right away, and it doesn't stop. Here, let me see. It says, what we typically see in cases like this where someone's obviously had too much to drink, a host, a pit boss should step in and say, hey, buddy, why don't you take a break? So apparently a lot of these guys file suit if they're good customers and then negotiate their way out.
So they get some of their money back.
Try to get their money back. And here, this is the last thing I'm just going to read. It says... the casino plied him with drinks. It says he's a longtime gambler who went on a drinking binge before he reached the floor. The lawsuit says he had 2 to 4 drinks at the Burbank airport, 1 drink on the hour-long flight to Vegas, 1 drink prepared by his limo driver when he arrived, another drink when he was riding inside the limo, and then several more drinks at dinner. And he basically, at some point, he blacked out. So I thought that's interesting. And first I thought, man, come on, buddy. It's your own fault. Nobody's forcing you to drink, but apparently there's some precedent for it, so I don't know.
So they didn't settle the case yet.
Of course he's going to be out.
It doesn't sit right with you, and you think, listen, you're dumb enough to do that. So while we're doing that, Freddie, we don't have much time left, but put up this chicken. They say it's called a chicken from hell. It's a bird-like dinosaur.
I don't got it.
You got it? You can't find our bird-like dinosaur?
It probably
Chicken
flew
from
the
hell?
coop.
No, it doesn't download.
Very good, Richard. He lived 66 million years ago.
Thank you.
It says it's called the chicken from hell, a bird-like dinosaur that was 7 feet tall and weighed about 500 pounds. You imagine it looked like a chicken.
That's like, that's Big Bird.
It is like Big Bird.
Yeah.
It is like Big Bird. Freddie, you can't find a picture of this stinking bird-like dinosaur?
Download.
Oh, it's the internet, of course. It's the internet. A bird-like dinosaur. It says the beast got its nickname long ago from the Carnegie Museum of Natural History in Pittsburgh, where a replica of its skeleton has been on display for... We got it? We got a phone call? We got a phone call? Lynn, put our phone call through. Let's see who's on the line.
It's Ryan.
Mystery caller, are you there?
I'm here.
And who might you be, mystery caller?
It's Ryan.
It's Ryan. Are you
Ryan.
the dude that we heard's a cute guy?
Yeah,
Hey, listen,
I
I'm a
guess.
straight guy, but that's how you were described by Maria. Is Maria your girlfriend?
Yes, she's my girlfriend.
All right, so you guys have been going out about a year, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, about a year. I guess 6 months of it was maybe a little hidden, but yeah, a year.
And is her dad as scary as she's making him out to be? It's like, I mean, let's put it this way: were you able to like kind of fool around in the house, or that just didn't happen because fear of the dad?
Well, I don't know how much I can say here, but I want to live to,
You want to live
tomorrow.
another day? Let
Yeah.
me just ask Maria: are your parents listening by any chance?
I
Will they
sure
be
hope
listening?
not.
Yeah.
All right. You know, Maria's actually, she's a fun girl, and I knew it from the time I met her. Is that what attracted you to her? She's got a good personality.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was easy to get along with her right away. You know, she's got that personality that people just gravitate to.
How'd you guys meet? I'm curious. How'd you meet?
You
We met at
tell
work.
him.
Oh, you met at work? You're not
Yeah.
one of, you're not a tenant there, are you? Or we don't call them tenants?
No, I was working
Client.
somewhere else, and we were colleagues at my last job.
Uh-oh, little romance.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's what I
no.
was talking about that first 6 months, kind of a hidden relationship, so it's hard to target how long we've been together.
All right, well, that's very interesting.
Wow.
And listen, I
Very romantic, right?
Yeah, I don't want to embarrass you, but listen, when a marriage is good, and I'm not leading you in that direction, but when it's good, it's good, and when it sucks, come and see us, Elkins and Friedman, for a divorce.
Yeah, I'll have to get your number.
Yeah.
No, wrong thing, dude.
Yeah, come on, give
Hey,
the guy
you know
a chance.
the other thing that I like about her, she's a sports chick. That's pretty good.
Oh, that was just another thing. It was easy to talk to her about sports. I feel kind of a little dumb listening to her because she has like all the knowledge more than I do half the time.
It's unbelievable. I mean, those
Yeah.
girls are rare. My wife like pretends. She doesn't even pretend. Actually, we're way past the
No,
pretending.
She puts me in my place.
That's amazing. All right. Well, listen, we appreciate you calling, and you find us somewhat entertaining.
Yeah, it was great. It was
All right.
Good. Keep listening. Every
All right,
Friday
will
night.
do. All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks for calling.
Yep, bye.
All right. Sounds like a nice young man. Mm-hmm. All right. Very good. Good for you.
Thanks.
All right. So listen, Freddie,
I got your chicken dinosaur.
show my
got your
chicken
chicken
dinosaur.
dinosaur.
Is that it?
Wow.
Wow. Who wants the dark meat on that baby? I don't know. That's a scary looking dinosaur.
You want a leg?
yeah, that'll last a while. Let me see what it says here. It had a toothless beak and a crest on its skull like a rooster's comb. Combined with its long arms and sharp claws that were about 4 inches long, it apparently also had feathers over much of its body. Now, there's a fancy name for it. It says the dinosaur lived 66 to 68 million years ago in a hot, humid landscape, rather like the Louisiana Bayou. It says
Wow.
it ate plants and small animals, but it wasn't fleeing from a hungry, and it couldn't flee from a much hungrier T-Rex. So I guess the T-Rex liked to feast on this animal.
Wow.
But that's a big chicken.
That's a big chicken. You can get a lot of good chicken sandwiches out of that one.
You know, girls, we used to do a story. I used to do like an animal of the week, and my favorite was still the dodo bird.
Yeah,
You know?
that was a
Poor
great
dodo bird. It was just such a nice bird, and you know, when it didn't have any known enemies, and then when the settlers came, they
ate
just
'em.
started. Yeah, they ate them, and they weren't even that good
No,
tasting.
right, they didn't taste very good.
But that's why the dodos went extinct. It's a sad story,
That
isn't
is
it?
sad.
And I know
Oh.
you guys are animal lovers. We
We're
talked about that.
Over the top.
Well, so am I. You know. I know.
Well, we love your dog, and we're really upset that Annabelle hasn't hit the website yet.
I know. No.
Or do you allow dogs at your office?
Not yet.
No?
But you
No.
don't. I know. What would
For
happen?
visits.
Has
for
anybody
short
tried to
visits.
bring a dog into the office?
Just for a short visit.
But if it's a service dog, you have to let the dog
Yeah,
in.
that's
Yes.
true. In fact, you know,
Yeah.
I was eating last night at Tijuana Flats, and this huge service dog came in. Now, I love animals, and I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But service dogs can be brought into restaurants.
Yeah,
So.
they behave very nicely.
And they were. This was a really well-behaved dog. Speaking of dogs, Freddie.
Yes.
No, we don't have much time left, but I read a story about a Chinese guy spending $2 million. And what kind of dog was it?
a Tibetan Mastiff.
That's it. This girl
That's what
knows
they
her,
go
her
for?
breeds.
$2 million?
$2 million. Most expensive price ever spent on a dog. It says Tibetan Mastiffs are known for being ferocious, loyal, protective, And if our internet worked, you'd actually see one on the screen.
They're
You got one.
huge.
I got one.
We got
How
one.
much do they
Freddie's
weigh?
got one.
What
One
do they
will be
weigh?
on there, even if you're not seeing it now. And apparently, the trainees love these dogs. It says sales generally max out at the low six figures, and they have a relatively short life expectancy. But they're quite rare, and this one fella decided to spend $3 million or $2 million for his pooch.
Wow.
Well, if he's listening, he can give us the $3,000 that we're saving right now for a French bulldog.
Are you saving for a French bulldog? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen those. Those are nice doggies.
Yeah, we have a name picked out already too. We're gonna name him Eli after our favorite quarterback.
Oh my
Since he looks like
You're
since
over
he
the
looks
top.
like a puppy
All right,
dog.
enough sports
Yeah,
talk
your
with
boyfriend
you.
was right.
Listen, I found, hey, actually, if your boyfriend's still listening, one quick article I just pulled up before I got on here. It says, marriage is good for your heart. I'll tell Freddie that, too.
It's not good for your wallet,
Look
though.
at him.
Okay.
Oh my God, he's
Oh,
so
the
cute.
dog is
Wow.
on the screen.
That's a little
$2
puppy.
million dog.
Look at that little puppy.
And listen, I'll just tell you this. Marriage is good for your heart. A new study found that you live longer, you cut down your risk of heart disease for 5%. Of
But
course,
it's
if it's
not
an
good for your
ex-wife,
wallet, though.
Wait,
yeah, if
because
it's-
you're in love or because you're sexually
gue-
active and
I
keeping
guess-
up the cardio?
Well, I don't know. It says married people in that age group, 12% lower risk of heart problems. Maybe you're just happier in general.
I think so.
Until the marriage goes south,
That's
and, then,
Freddie.
and then your heart rate goes up. I know. All right, listen, we got about 2 minutes left. All right, yeah, you sound like a bitter man, Freddie. Bitter man. Well,
We got 2 minutes left, so let's talk about what we love talking about.
Well, no, one last story. I just got off the internet.
What?
Everybody remembers Amy Winehouse. She's been
she
dead
died?
now for several years. It's not stopping her from going out on tour. Amy Winehouse may go out on tour as a hologram, and I'm
That's
not
like
making
Michael
that
Jackson.
up. Huh?
Michael Jackson has an immortal tour.
Really?
The Immortal Tour.
Yeah.
Are they? I know they're going to do it, talking about a Vegas show, like a Cirque show with him.
It's in New York.
Well,
Wow.
sounds like we almost had it. We got,
We got 1 minute.
left.
So let me ask you, Alan.
What?
You gonna go see a movie this weekend?
No, but I'm going out on a boat of our friend Alan Braverman. I'm going out on his boat.
Very
Tomorrow,
nice.
next Sunday.
I'm gonna go see my
do you see?
movie I've been waiting a long time to see.
Quick, what is it?
Muppets Most Wanted.
You'll fit right
I've been
in with.
waiting to see this for months.
All right, say hi to Miss Piggy for me. And girls, have you enjoyed being here?
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you for having us.
Oh.
Can we get a discount when we sign your stinking lease agreement?
Oh, how about a free cup of coffee at least?
We got
You'll
to wrap
always
it
get a
up.
free cup of
A
coffee.
free cup
with
of
us.
coffee.
We'll get a free cup
With
of
a
coffee,
donut.
unlike the competition.
We'll see about the donuts. We're on a health kick here.
Okay.
I think we're out of time, everybody.
We're out of
So
time.
say good night. Wave to the camera. And,
Everybody say good night.
Thank you for having
We'll
us.
be back next week, right,
We'll
Alan?
be back next week.
Friday
Richard.
at 7 o'clock.
Friday at 7 o'clock.
We'll see
Night,
everybody then.
everybody.
Good night.
You've been listening to the Elkins and Friedman Know Nothing Show, where maybe you learned a little something in spite of them. To reach Alan Elkins or Rich Friedman at their offices, call 954-772-6014 or 561-738-5988. Out of area, call toll-free 1-800-922-1277 or go online to elkinsandfriedman.com. Friedman is spelled with 2 E's. Be back here next week for more from Elkins and Friedman and their Know Nothing Show.